The alarm shrieked through Outpost Kepler 442b at 0300 hours, jolting Jennifer awake. Red lights bathed the corridors in crimson as she stumbled out of her quarters, still pulling on her thermal jacket. "Alex!" she called out, nearly colliding with her research partner at the intersection of two corridors. "What's happening?" Alex's face was pale in the emergency lighting, his tablet clutched in white-knuckled hands. "It's the Red Dragon Pack. 3 ships just breached the perimeter. They're coming in hot, Jen. Really hot." Jennifer's stomach dropped. The Red Dragon Pack, the most feared warrior clan in the Triangulum sector. They'd heard stories during their xenobiology training. Entire colonies reduced to ash. Diplomatic envoys returned in pieces, a species that communicated primarily through violence. And now they were here, at a research outpost staffed by exactly 7 humans and a malfunctioning defense grid. "How long do we have?" Jennifer asked, already knowing the answer wouldn't be good. 20 minutes, maybe less." Alex grabbed her arm. "The others are evacuating to the emergency pods, but what?" His eyes darted toward Lab 7. "The hatchlings! In the thermal chamber, I can't just leave them." Jennifer understood immediately. 3 weeks ago, they'd discovered the clutch of eggs in the cave system beneath the outpost, abandoned, dying from the cold. The planet's sudden temperature drop had caught some creature off guard. Despite protocol, despite the risks, Alex had brought them back. He'd spent every spare moment in that lab, carefully regulating temperature and humidity, hand-feeding the tiny creatures that had emerged from their leathery shells. 3 small beings, no bigger than house cats, with scales that shimmered like rubies and wings too small yet to lift their bodies. They'd bonded to Alex instantly, following him around the lab on unsteady legs, chirping for attention. "Then we don't leave them," Jennifer said firmly. They ran. Lab 7 was in chaos, equipment knocked over, probably from when everyone scrambled to evacuate. The thermal chamber hummed in the corner, and inside, the 3 hatchlings huddled together, sensing something wrong. Their scales had darkened to a deep burgundy, a stress response Alex had documented. "Come on, little ones," Alex murmured, reaching into the chamber. The hatchlings immediately clambered up his arms, their tiny claws catching in his jacket. But they were agitated, scared, making distressed clicking sounds that broke Jennifer's heart. "We need to get to Pod 4, Jennifer said, checking her tablet. "It's our closest—" The building shook, not from an explosion, but from something landing on the roof, something massive. "Too late," Alex whispered. The walls began to glow, not from heat, from cutting tools, advanced ones. They had maybe 30 seconds before the Red Dragon Pack burned through. Alex looked at the hatchlings clinging to him, then at Jennifer. Some unspoken communication passed between them. They'd studied xenopsychology. They knew that most predator species had one universal weakness: they're young. "Get down," Jennifer said, pulling emergency blankets from the supply cabinet. "Sit against the wall. Hold them close." "Jen, what are you—" "Trust me." Alex slid down the wall, cradling the 3 hatchlings against his chest. They immediately burrowed into his warmth, their clicking fading to soft chirps. Jennifer threw the blankets over them, making Alex as small and non-threatening as possible. Then she stood in front of him, hands raised, as the wall exploded inward. They were magnificent and terrible. 3 beings, each nearly 8 feet tall, their scales like polished blood rubies, their wings folded against powerful bodies built for war. Their eyes glowed like molten gold, and when they roared, Jennifer felt it in her bones. The leader stepped forward, some kind of plasma weapon raised, its barrel pointed directly at Jennifer's head. It spoke in a voice like grinding stones, the translator in Jennifer's ear rendering it into clipped English. "Where are they?" Jennifer swallowed hard. "Behind me. Please, they're safe. We've been taking care of them." The leader's eyes narrowed. With one sweep of its massive arm, it knocked Jennifer aside. She hit the floor hard, stars exploding in her vision. The creature advanced on Alex, weapon raised. Then it stopped. The hatchlings had emerged from the blankets drawn by the familiar scent. They chirped, not in fear, but in excitement. Their scales brightened to brilliant scarlet as they recognized something in these massive beings. Family. But they didn't leave Alex's chest. Instead, the smallest one nestled deeper into his jacket, and the other two stretched their wings protectively over their sibling and the human holding them. The leader lowered its weapon slowly. It made a sound, something between a growl and a purr, and the other two warriors holstered their weapons immediately. Alex looked up, tears streaming down his face, and said the only thing that made sense. "I kept them warm. They were cold. I couldn't let them die." The leader stared at this small human, covered in its offspring, who had risked death to protect hatchlings that weren't even his species. It reached out one massive claw, and Jennifer tensed, ready to throw herself forward despite her spinning head. But the touch was gentle. It brushed Alex's cheek, a gesture that their translator couldn't render but needed no translation. The leader turned to its warriors and spoke in its grinding tongue. They nodded and left through the hole they'd created. Then it turned back to Alex. The translator crackled. "You kept them alive, in cold, fed them, protected them." "Yes," Alex whispered. "Our enemy clan attacked our ship. We thought all eggs lost. We came for revenge, for blood." The creature's golden eyes seemed to soften. "We found this." It carefully, impossibly gently, lifted one hatchling. The baby chirped and immediately tried to return to Alex. The leader made that purring sound again. "They have bonded to human." It seemed to struggle with the concept, then placed the hatchling back on Alex's chest. "In our culture, one who saves our young becomes Kaleth Ma. Family, blood bonded." Jennifer pulled herself up. "You're not going to hurt us?" The leader looked at her as if she'd said something absurd. "Hurt the Kaleth Ma of our hatchlings? We would sooner burn our own ships." It tapped something on its armor. "I am Sareth, First Claw of Red Dragon Pack. This outpost is now under our protection. No harm will come to you. Ever." Alex laughed, slightly hysterical. "I just wanted to keep them warm." Sareth's expression, if a dragon warrior could have expressions, seemed almost amused. "Humans. You find the most dangerous young in the galaxy, and your first thought is, needs a blanket." Jennifer couldn't help it. She started laughing, too. They'd expected death and found themselves adopted into one of the galaxy's most feared warrior clans because Alex had a soft heart and 3 baby dragons liked his body heat. The hatchling in the middle yawned, showing tiny fangs, and fell asleep on Alex's chest. Sareth made a rumbling sound that might have been a chuckle. "Yes, this is very human.